welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Flawless Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury along with the Corrector. You guys are going to get to see the application, my overall thoughts, all that good stuff. So let's jump right into it. Alrighty, you guys, so really quickly before we get into the demo, I'm just gonna go through the claims of the products. Let's start with the Corrector. It comes in a total of 4 shades. It's supposed to be lightweight, full coverage, and it's supposed to have a natural finish. Let's move on to the foundation. There's a total of 44 shades. It's supposed to have a natural matte finish. It's supposed to be long lasting, weightless, poreless looking, full coverage. It has like a moisturizing air cool feel to it. It's supposed to be sweat proof, transfer resistant, waterproof, all of that good stuff. So we're just gonna jump right into the application, and at the end I'll let you guys know what I think. Keep in mind that this is not a first impression video. I already tried the foundation twice and I already know what I think about it. So let's just jump right into the demo. So for primer, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Wonder Glow. This is the mini size. I forget to mention, I'm gonna prep my skin the same way that I would with any other foundation. So I'm gonna use the Hollywood Flawless Filter in the shade number 6 Dark Tan. I'm gonna use the Morphe M439. I'm gonna spray the brush just a little bit. By the way, this is not a foundation or a concealer. It has zero coverage. It's just a skin booster to kind of give you a natural glow from within. And it helps to even out the skin without adding coverage, like I mentioned. Go ahead and use the Corrector in the shade number 3 Tan. There's 4 shades in total, and I'm gonna use this with my finger because this is a cream formula. I do not want to waste product. So I have hyperpigmentation around my mouth, and that's where I'm applying the product. So now moving on to the foundation, I got 2 shades. So I got 9 Warm and 10 Neutral. 9 Warm is way too light for me, and 10 Neutral is a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna mix them together. I'm just gonna show you guys really quick what the shades look like on my skin. So that's 9 Warm. That's the Neutral. Alrighty, you guys. So that's 9 Warm, and this is 10 Neutral. Too light, too dark, and a little bit too orangey. So I'm gonna mix both of them to get my perfect shade. I'm gonna start with 9 Warm. I'm just gonna do that much and just a little bit of the 10 Neutral right on top. So like that. I'm just gonna mix them together. All right, with the Morphe M439, I'm gonna spritz it again. I'm gonna use the Corrector under my eyes just to see how it feels. Alright, so I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury concealer in the shade number 8. Grab the contouring one in the shade medium dark. And that's what that looks like. My Sephora number 56 brush. Charlotte Tilbury powder and my setting brush from Real Techniques. Grab my Hourglass Ambient Radiant Bronzer and my MAC 140 brush just to set that contour that I applied earlier. You guys, and I'm sorry if I zoom off or kind of like, you know, not myself, but I'm just a little stressed. I'm not gonna front. This whole hurricane stuff is stressful. It is Sunday. What time is it? 1:52. I'm trying to get this done so I can go ahead and edit it, because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to film again. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the FARSALI Rose Gold Skin Mist, which I haven't used in a long time because this stuff is pricey and I forgot to pick one up during the VIB sale. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the NARS Liquid Blush in the shade Torrid. I'm just gonna apply this on the back of my hand. I'm using a number 55 brush from Sephora. I'm gonna grab the Glow Glass and Palette from Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to mix both of these with a 137 brush from MAC on my cheek. To highlight, I'm going to use the light one in the shade Spotlight. Just like a liquid highlighter. I'm going to use my MAC 159 brush to apply this on the highest points of my cheeks. Alrighty, you guys, so this is the final look. This is how the foundation looks with everything on. I know I didn't show you guys the eye makeup, but I was trying to shoot this as quickly as possible, so I just wanted to focus on the actual foundation. I'm just gonna go straight into what I think about the products. Let's start with the corrector. So once again, I got the shade 10 number 3, and I feel like this formula is really nice because it's not too creamy. So if you do have more of an oilier skin type, it's not going to move around or crease. I feel like you do need to use your finger to warm up the product so that it goes on a lot more effortlessly. If you guys have tried the Bobbi Brown correctors, this is not as creamy as that one. So once again, it has more of a natural finish, and I feel like this will be more suitable for all skin types compared to the Bobbi Brown one. I currently don't have it. I've used it and I love the Bobbi Brown, but I do prefer this formula a lot better. I feel like it's gonna last longer. In terms of the coverage, it's definitely very pigmented. A little bit goes a long way, so you don't want to go overboard. And like I mentioned in the beginning, there's 4 shades depending on your skin tone. So I do recommend this if you need to color correct, whether it's due to dark circles, maybe hyperpigmentations, dark spots, anything like that. I do think this is a great product. So that's that. Moving on to the actual foundation. So this foundation claimed to be full coverage, and I agree. However, I find that you can get a natural, medium, and also full coverage finish depending on how much product you apply. You can build this up, but I don't feel like it looks or feels like a full coverage foundation. It feels very lightweight and comfortable on the skin. I don't feel it like it looks cakey or heavy on the skin at all. It's super comfortable, so I do think that's a pro about it. The fact that you can build up to the coverage that you prefer. Now, it also claims to have a natural matte finish, and I also agree. It's not drying. It doesn't feel like it's absorbing my natural oils. It doesn't feel like it's tight on the skin. If anything, feels very moisturizing and hydrating when you first apply it. Once it sets, it does give more of a soft matte finish, but not dry or powdery to the point where somebody with dry skin will feel like they need to remove it. You know what I'm saying? I do think that this foundation is more geared towards combo oilier skin types. If you have dry skin, you do definitely need to moisturize, prep really well. You do not need to set this with a powder. And once again, I don't think that this is a bad foundation for dry skin. I just think that you have to take the proper steps in order to get the best application and finish when it comes to this formula. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I tried it on Thursday and I tried it on Friday, and I loved how it looked on my skin both days. But it did kind of like emphasize my smile lines quite a bit when I applied a little bit too much. So on Thursday when I first tried it, I applied more than I usually do, just because I wanted to see the coverage, and I did find that it emphasized my pores a little bit more than my other foundations. But on Friday when I tried it again, I applied less amount of product, and I didn't have any issues with the creasing or the foundation emphasizing my smile lines. It looked flawless. So I just feel like if you like full coverage, you got to be careful with this, because a little bit goes a long way, and you might end up looking a little bit cakey if you apply too much. You just want to apply a small amount and you'll be fine. This foundation also claimed to be waterproof, water resistant, humidity resistant, long lasting, and I do agree. Both times that I tried it, I felt like it lasted a really long time. It didn't separate on me, it didn't fade or disappear or anything like that. I feel like this is definitely a long-lasting foundation. However, you have to be careful with the amount that you apply, like I mentioned. Otherwise, it's going to start to emphasize all those imperfections that we don't want. But other than that, I think this is a gorgeous formula. One of the things that I do have an issue with is the shade range and the undertones. Charlotte is known for not having the best shade range when it comes to her complexion products. This time around, she made sure she added 44 shades, which is amazing. However, I feel like it's irrelevant, because even though there's 3 different undertones, you have your warm, your cool, and your neutral. It's not balanced, it's not equally made in terms of different skin tones. As you guys saw, I got the shade number 9 warm, and it was too light. That's more like for an NC42 skin tone in my opinion. And then 10 neutral is definitely darker. And the other thing about it is that it oxidizes once it sets because of the finish. And I do not recommend purchasing this foundation online. Definitely make sure you go in stores, maybe try to get some samples before you purchase, just to see and make sure that you get the right shade. You might have to go a shade lighter, because once again, it does oxidize. Most people may have to mix 2 foundations, which I know it's not the ideal. That's not what we want. We don't want to buy 2 shades to get our perfect skin tone shade. But yeah, I'm not too happy about the shade range and the undertone. However, the foundation, I do feel like has a beautiful formula. As you guys saw in the application today, I used a lot of dewy hydrating primers, and it's because of the finish. If I were to use this on its own, it's not going to give me this dewy radiant glow that I usually like to have. That's just my preference. I would say if you have mature skin, if your pores are very large, if you have a lot of texture, this foundation will emphasize that a little bit more than any other foundation, because it has more of that soft matte finish. So just keep that in mind. Overall, I do like the foundation, but I don't think it's like something that you need to go out and run and get. It's a beautiful formula, but I am gonna tell you that I do prefer this is the Light Wonder foundation by Charlotte Tilbury. This is a lot more dewy, more hydrating, more natural looking. So if you have dry skin, I'll recommend this one over this one any day. If you have combo oily, I do recommend this foundation. But once again, just keep in mind that it oxidizes, and it can get very cakey if you apply too much. So just be light-handed with that. And that is pretty much it, you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please check the description box for any product info. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments as usual. Follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, beauties.